Hello, good morning. Good morning, here we are. We're having shower issues, so it's a good thing I know survival skills and can take a bird bath, huh? It's so cold that taking a bird bath sucks. So today, for the 1010 portal, wake up. Super energy coming through, ascension. We're all growing the collective consciousness. Gentle words work better than hard ones. That's a good one for me. Because when I get pushed to the point of irritation, I have to remind myself to be gentle. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. So glad you're here. I'm really loving these readings. So you take it as you do. This is the Woman's Book of Courage, but it's for any courageous person, not just women. Protecting our inner child. Many of our arguments, disagreements, and other painful encounters. Buster, you're not barking. Actually, hold on, let me start that over. Many of our arguments, disagreements, and other painful encounters actually are between the wounded children inside each of us and not between the adults we appear to be. Once, when my partner and I were explaining the concept of inner children at a seminar, a woman participant began furiously waving at us for attention. She exclaimed, "You just saved my marriage. I don't hate all of my husband. I just hate and fear his mean inner little boy." Wow. When children are being unreasonable, we create a timeout to allow them to vent their feelings alone. We can do this as adults too. Mary Beth, a client of mine, said, "It really hurts me when I have to listen to my husband tell me how stupid I am." Has anybody ever told you that? You're not stupid. She didn't have to. In fact, it would have been better if she didn't. I encouraged her to recognize his little boy was having a temper tantrum when he berated her, and to leave the room until he cooled down and could talk on an adult level. Staying in the same room and allowing his little boy to harangue, no, it's Harangue, harangue, I don't know how to say that. Her hooked her wounded little girl, and then the fur really flew between them. If we find ourselves in a childish and destructive disagreement, we need to protect our own and the other person's inner child by venting away from each other and returning to the confrontation as adults later. It doesn't say later, but later is a good time. You have to walk away. Conflict between wounded inner children never leads to a better understanding of one another, nor helps a relationship improve. So I had a long talk before I read our little mantra today. Oh yes, absolutely, a woman. Absolutely. And whether they were right or wrong, healed or unhealed, if they wounded us, it was their own wounds reflecting. I had an amazing long conversation. That's why my voice is so, with my Lakota sister last night, because she's one of the ones in the counties affected by this huge blackout that's supposed to be going on in California. Totally planned. And so I had to call her and check on her. And we talked all about personality types last night. So she sent me what she thought mine was. And we had some amazing conversation. But we talked all about the ego and the inner child, how we each have like two personalities. Our ego is protecting our wounded inner child, which is not really who we are. She said, "Oh, that's exactly right." So her and I connected. I love her so much. I miss her so much. She wants me to come back to Cali, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait till these earthquakes calm down a little bit. Let me see what's going on before I make a sudden move to California. But you can see that I love Callie. Callie love. I love and respect my inner child is our mantra. So we love and respect our inner child. We courageously keep our inner child safe and protected. We vent our feelings in a positive and loving way. Yes, we do. We do the best we can. And when we start realizing the things that we're doing that are unhealthy that we may have inherited and um, been taught, these are pro- programmed beliefs, the beliefs that were here before we were born, and we realize that they're not no longer serving our highest good, then we can start to correct ourselves. Our little inner voice will say, hey, remember, that's not working. That's why I use positive self-talk, even out loud. So sometimes it helps to, oh, this is payoff from destructive relationships. Sometimes it helps to understand, we're in our language of letting go. Understand that we may be receiving a payoff from relationships that cause us distress. Excuse me. The relationship may be feeding into our helplessness or our martyr roles. Maybe the relationship feeds our need to be needed, enhancing our self-esteem by allowing us to feel in control or morally superior to the other person. Some of us feel alleviated from financial or other kinds of responsibility by staying in a particular relationship. Goodness, this is a powerful little statement this woman shared. My father sexually abused me when I was a child, said one woman. I went on to spend the next 20 years blackmailing him and emotionally and financially on this. I could get money from him whenever I wanted. I never had to take financial responsibility for myself. Realizing that we may have gotten a codependent payoff from a relationship is not a cause for shame. It means we are searching out the blocks in ourselves that may be stopping our growth. We can take responsibility for the part we may have played in keeping ourselves victimized. When we are willing to look honestly and fearlessly at the payoff and let it go, we will find the healing we've been seeking. We'll also be ready to receive the positive, healthy payoffs available in relationships, the payoffs we really want and need. Absolutely. See, she was keeping herself sick by making her father pay. Absolutely, she was. It was just like a constant reminder. She was seeking revenge. So today we will be open to looking at the payoffs we may have received from staying in unhealthy relationships or from keeping destructive systems operating. I will become ready to let go of my need to stay in unhealthy systems. We are ready to face ourselves. Yes, and it's very, very scary at first. Absolutely, it is to come face to face with your inner demons and the wounds that hurt you, and you're not ready to. But it's so amazing and healing when we finally do, when we can finally admit. So I hope you're doing well today, Mike. I hope you're feeling better. I was tired. I didn't want to get up because I was up till midnight on the phone. It's like a almost 2.5 hour phone call that my child had snuck 2 homeless people in, and my mom was raising hell at midnight. So I was out on the porch talking, so I didn't disturb anybody. And my mom was having a fit. Oh boy, we're on October 1st. We're in until today for 10/10. 10/10. Healing energy coming right on through. So we will realize our own worth when we accept there is a pure and right spirit within us. Absolutely, we will. It's all there. Everything you need to know. Why you are here, what you are here to do, and how you must go about accomplishing every task. The answer to every question you have ever asked yourself or asked of anyone else, why you are who you are, the cause of each and every experience you have endured or conquered, and exactly what those experiences were designed to teach you. It's all right there in your heart. Not the heart that beats to keep you alive, a different kind of heart. The heart we are referring to is the heart of your soul, your heart of hearts. It is there that you will find the voice of your spirit. It is this heart that must be clean and peace filled in order for your mind, spirit, and life to soar. The spirit's voice comes so softly into your heart that it will be difficult for you to hear it if you are angry. Now, I want to talk about a book called The Angry Heart. And that's a very, very good workbook for people trying to heal from wounded childhood. Amazing book, The Angry Heart. I think I might have to buy it. Oh gosh, let me write that down real quick. The Angry Heart. Beautiful book. Oh, it helped me so much in 2006. I was a very angry girl underneath the very wounded girl. I sure was. It will be difficult to hear it if you're angry. An angry heart is a hardened heart that is closed to the spirit of healing. It will be equally difficult for you to receive your heart's divine direction if you insist on blaming others for what you are or are not. Your heart knows the truth, your true identity, and the true purpose of your life. If you are ready and willing to know what your heart already knows, ask your heart to cleanse itself of all anger, resentment, and fear. Ask that your heart be healed of all shame, guilt, dishonesty, and pain. So we thank in advance, knowing that that's finished. With a clean and open heart, you can do anything you choose. Until today, you may have believed that your heart was beyond repair. Just for today, spend some time listening to your heart. Ask to be guided away from what you no longer need or desire onto the path of all that you deserve. Do it just this once, and you will never regret it. So today we are devoted to renewing our spirit by cleansing our heart. Beautiful, clean hearts. You can get a new heart, right? New hearts and new minds all over the world. It's a beautiful reading for today. And the portal, the 1010, beautiful energy coming through. So we're jumping back to June 6th, to do our forgiveness, because we need that now. Again, I already did all these, but we need it again. So we are now willing to forgive ourselves for not being willing to risk proving that someone may be wrong about us. Many of us have a black hole in our hearts that sucks the fight, the life, and the goodness from our lives. Sure, there are days when we can smile, laugh, and almost convince ourselves that life is okay. Then, without warning, we are sucked down into the black hole of guilt. Some of us are guilty about believing what we have a right to be, that we have a right to be more than people have told us we can be. Every time we stand on the verge of proving them wrong, we throw ourselves into the black hole. There may be a black hole in your heart that is full of fear, pain, grief, anger, or shame. This is a deep hole. It seems so deep and wide that you may actually live in fear that it will swallow you. Many of us live in the constant fear that we will be more than we have been told we can be. Unfortunately, it is fear that sucks you deeper into the hole. There is only one way to get out and stay out of the black holes: forgiveness. Forgive yourself for all the unkind, unloving, unsupportive things you have thought about yourself. Forgive yourself for all the things that you have done to yourself that support the things you believe about yourself that are not true. Forgive yourself for being so hard on yourself. Forgive yourself for all the clever ways you have devised to deny that these holes exist in your heart. Until today, you may not have been aware of the things you have done in response to the black hole in your heart, or you may have done many things in an effort to deny, avoid, or ignore that black hole exists. Just for today, step down into the hole and forgive yourself. Excuse me. So today, we are devoted to opening up the black hole in our heart and forgiving ourselves for everything we have allowed to be buried there. Gosh, I need to know what my Lakota sister told me back in California because I wrote it down, but I lost that notebook in the fire. And she said we have three hearts. We have our physical heart. Maybe she was talking about our heart center, and then our other heart is the connection with the divine. I'll have to ask her about that again. But I go weeks without talking to her. And then when we catch up, it's like 2.5 hour long conversation. And her phone is being whatever. So we're not texting anymore. Three hearts. She really gave me some amazing information. I'm going to look into it today. I was very, very tired at 12:30. That's past my bedtime. So, we're on number 10 today with our How Divine Is That? And we started that on the first, absolutely. And it would be 10:10. So choose activities. This is Inner Peace for busy people. Choose activities that bring you to life. One of the most common complaints I hear from busy people is that they feel squeezed out of their own lives. Their needs are the last to be met, and the very activities that make them feel joyful and alive seem beyond their grasp. There are simply too many other things to do. I must hear the self-help advice. This is the one my grandma always told me. Secure your own oxygen mask before you help anyone requiring your assistance. Because if we're not breathing, if we're not taking our own oxygen, we are of little help to anyone. At least twice a week. Do that at least twice a week. It's based on the actual announcement that flight attendants make before takeoff, which I also hear about twice a week. And while the phrase is overused as analogies go, the reason for its popularity is that it hits the mark. If you're so busy trying to save the people around you that you black out, all of you are likely to die. I gave years of lip service to this folk wisdom while earnestly ignoring it. Perhaps that's because most of us need to recognize a good idea and then think about it for a while before we actually implement it. The lag between knowing and doing isn't neurotic, it's normal. We're just gearing up for change. We're shifting into the love realm. And sometimes it's very uncomfortable to do what's best for us when we have to distance ourselves from unhealthy people, when we have to cut those people, places, and things out of our life that no longer serve us. It's sometimes very painful, but very necessary. But the other reason we shouldn't ignore the airplane advice is that doing without real oxygen has immediate and powerful negative consequences. Doing without virtually oxygen, the things that make you feel better in the long run, is much more abstract. For example, friends sustain me, but I won't expire immediately if I don't see them for a while. I tend to isolate, so I go long periods without seeing friends. Touch sustains me, but I once lived quite happily in an ashram for 3 weeks without any touch at all. If you don't count the centipedes that crawled over me in bed at night. Ooh, I wouldn't like that at all. Exercise sustains me, but but for a year after a car accident, during which I lived with post-concussion syndrome, I hardly exercised at all. I'm still here. It's easy to delude ourselves with the notion that we will always be here. We can take care of ourselves later. Right now, our children, spouse, friends, or career need us more. People who actually have brushes with death, and go through I just took my vitamins, I'm sorry. Go through the equivalent state of permanently losing their oxygen, often make drastic changes in their priorities. Many speak of the renewed importance of the 3 F's: faith, family, and friends, because that's where the love is. In the end, love is what matters most. The reasons these people give for securing their own oxygen masks first is that doing so helps them feel more loving, patient, and kind. When they take the time for themselves, they can show up for their loved ones more willingly and authentically. Securing your oxygen mask means different things to different people. Other than your work, even if you love it, what are the things that nourish you and bring out your best self? Take a few minutes this week and make an oxygen list. I recommend that, hello, good morning. I recommend that you do it every day. Every day you take time for yourself. You make a short list of goals. Do your affirmations. Build yourself up. Like I'm going to have Buster take me on a WALK here soon, just to make myself get up out of the house and go. I need a rest day from working out. I think I'm going to. Absolutely, Faith is. You're absolutely right, Rooster. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Faith, hope, and love. Yes, so I'm going to make myself have the dog give me a WALK. He already looked at his little harness down there. He was letting me know that whenever I'm ready, so he'll pull me right along. In no particular order, mine would include playing golf, skiing, hiking, being with my grown children, intimate conversations with my husband, sex, prayer, mystery novels, inspiring movies, sharing, singing, sharing time with friends. It was sharing, I said it out of order. Massages, laughing, playing word games, romping with our 4 dogs, sitting by a fire, listening to music, being outside and taking in the silence, dancing, craft projects, cooking for friends, horseback riding, hanging around in my bathrobe until lunchtime reading magazines and staring at the ceiling, yoga, exploring new places, long road trips, foreign cultures, and hot fudge sundaes. I get to some of the things on the list pretty regularly, others hardly at all. 6 months ago, I made a commitment to get a massage every week. It has increased my energy, reduced my stress, and made me feel 10 years younger. This winter, I'm making a commitment to ski at least 6 times. Last winter went by without a single outing. When you live in a world-class ski area, that's a shame. She lives in Colorado. So study your oxygen list and discuss it with a friend. Choose something you'd like to make a more regular part of your life and commit to doing it. Yes. Oh, no. He's right here. He'll already know. As soon as I say it, he'll start jumping around. He's so smart. So I can't say it. Going on a WALK. I can't wait till he learns how to spell. He will. He's a very smart guy. So I am going to jump off here and go for my walk. Uh-huh. He already, he knows. He knows. So we'll go for a walk. I'll be back. I'm gonna do one day my soul just opened up, and we're gonna continue where we left off on the stage of time. Amazing book, absolutely mind-blowing. Gives you a whole lot of insight to what's good on the oh yeah. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Well, I'm gonna go to the one day my soul just opened up. Rooster, you have a beautiful day. Mike, have a beautiful day. I don't know where Mike went. It only shows one person in here. So I will be back. I love you all so much. I'm so proud of all of us. I send healing, love, and light to all hearts all over the world. And we will be back later. So have a blessed and beautiful day. God bless you too. God bless you too. God bless everybody. I love you all so much. You guys help me make it through the day too. So we will be back after a little bit.